Right, it is the 20th of April. I'm just coming to check this little small hive. We think we've got a varroa problem. Yeah, it hasn't built up as strong as the rest. Obviously what you can hear in the background is the airport, because we are pretty much right near the airport. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn you around, set you up so we can have a look at this hive. What I'm doing, I'm just having to put my hood up because they are now buzzing around. And they are a little bit tetchy, these ones. I think it's just because of how poorly they've come through winter. Like I say, they should be a lot further on than what they actually are. So what I'm going to do first is take the varroa board out of underneath. And then if I need to, I can put some varroa treatment in. Because I have an awful lot to do today. So if you can see this, what I'm doing is just looking for varroa. Which there is some. There is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think based off this, I'm going to have to put some treatment in. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly open up and just check what they look like. Grab some smoke. Grab my hive tool from the bucket. A bit of this. Obviously they don't like it. Like I said, they are a little bit on the tetchy side. I'm going to put that down there. And let's have a look underneath. So I can't see the queen on there. I'll put that there. These are over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames, which is actually pretty good. But these 2 frames are pretty knackered because I made a mistake in the winter, which I'll show you. There's nothing on that one. And what you shouldn't really use is a red tool, because these do not like anything red. The suit that you can see that I'm wearing is actually from AGS. I got it in the sale. I really like the one that they produced for the full suit, which I'll show you later, because I have to wear that one for my other bees because they are extremely nasty. So at the minute I'm just looking for eggs to see if I can see the queen, which I currently can't. As you can see, this one is where the frame broke. There are eggs, so the queen is definitely still in here. Got some drones as well. As you can see there, obviously I mucked up with the frame spacing. Through the winter where the frame actually snapped and they've rejoined it together. There's a little bit of chalk brood, which kind of is to be expected a little bit with these being a little bit on the stressed side, because these were moved from the allotment, which I'll show you in a bit later on, because I do have to move some bees. Oh, there she is. Don't know if you can see the queen there with the blue dot. So she is definitely there. There are eggs all through there. Eggs all through there. No queen cells as of yet. Have a look at this frame. No eggs there either. A little bit of honey and stores. Oh, that's quite heavy. That's got quite a bit of stores on. So what I'm going to do is push this back together. Put that one in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 frames. I'm going to leave this one off. Put the queen excluder on there for 2 seconds. And what I'll do, I'm going to go get some Varroa treatment and then put the Varroa treatment on, put a dummy board in just to make it a little bit easier to get them out. I'll bring you back when I'm putting the treatment in. So what I've got is this. Now this hive, because of how poorly it came through the winter, I'm not going to be taking any honey off that this year. I would rather get them sorted, build them up and see what actually happens later on in the year. Now as you can see, this stuff was meant to be all in one brick, but unfortunately the Royal Mail doesn't know what they're doing. So this is apiary var. It takes 4 treatments, each a week and a half, each a week apart. What you have to do is each one of these has 2 little bricks in it. You are supposed to break these bricks up and put them in the corners of the hive. you do one strip now and one strip in a week. So what I've done, you'll see I've put one there, one there. It was already broken up. So what I've done, I've just put that in there, already broken up. It makes a little bit of difference. It is meant to be whole, where you break it up into 2 or 3 pieces yourself, but that'll work for what we need to do. They're just on the cusp of needing a treatment, and I would rather put a treatment in now and get it sorted when they are just on the cusp, with how poorly these have built up. So what I'm going to do, I'll go put this back on, and then what will happen at the end of this treatment, I'll actually perform a shuck swarm, just to kind of give them a little bit of a hurry up and get sorted. So I've put this fondant back on. I will come back later on in the week and change them to syrup, but they do have stores. This is just a precaution. I'd rather they didn't starve, because you get no honey from dead bees, unfortunately. So yeah, so I'll bring you back at the next hive. This is my small holding hives. I'm on to next my business park hive, so I shall bring you back then. Right, so here we are at the next one, literally 5 minutes away. So I'm just going to put my hood up, because these again can be a little bit spicy depending, because the sun's all gone away as well. So make sure I'm zipped up. As you can see, this is a fully vented suit. Well, jacket. Got it in the sales for, I think it was £24 or £25.99. I really like these suits. They make life a hell of a lot easier. So you can see there, just a jacket. You can see there's actually quite a bit of activity at this entrance. Now, this is the new Enel lock fit floor that I've just received, paid for with my own money. I got it from Gwyn and Griffith. Excellent company to deal with, actually. This is where both of these Enel hives came from. Absolutely fantastic people to deal with. Any issues, spot on. So I've got the green and the white. I have got another super that will probably need to come on at some stage, but let's get into it. So what I'll do, put a bit of smoke in the front, and then I'll try and stand you somewhere. So as you can see, could do with this being a little bit up, a little bit higher, but what I've got behind here is a bucket with cleaner solution in. That's baking washing soda crystals, just to help with the cleanliness of the site. I've got new gloves on and a new suit. This is, I do have multiple ones of these suits. And don't know if you can see that. There is comb in the top. Now the queen should not be on there, so I'm just going to stand it there. Put that there. Now this super they haven't drawn at all, so I shall just take this off. And there's lots of bees. As you can see, I've got the metal queen excluder there. They are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames of brood. Well, they are across 7 frames, sorry. So let's get in and see. This is the only issue that I've found, is if you can see there, actually put that comb there. What I'll show you is, look at that brood pattern. Brilliant brood pattern. You can see there's actually some bees passing nectar. Haven't seen the queen. This one is actually not, she is blue, but she's actually a purple. She's purple marked because that's the only pen I had at the time, which that's no issue really. Obviously they are a little bit on the tetchy side because the sun has gone in, but these are always pretty calm. Again, a really nice frame of brood. Just making sure there's no cells looking like they're going to swarm, which there isn't up to now. It's not to say there won't be. There is one there. You see it, it is just a queen cup. And another one there. So what I shall do is just knock them down. Make sure there's nothing on them, which there isn't. And have a look at these last frames, which they should be drawn out wonky. Not a surprise. So what I want to do is just pull that off. See what they've done. They have made it a little bit wonky. So I shall just pull this bit off. Just to help try and build that out properly. Because again, these are plastic frames, so you've got to keep an eye on them, because they will draw them out completely wonkily, which isn't what you want. And that is just another stores. So all is looking well with this one. So I haven't seen the queen yet, but that's no great issue because there is eggs. So the queen has been here within the last 3 days. So again, what I'll do, because there's just make sure that it goes back on the right way so there isn't any risk of anything happening with the queen and her getting out from this area. So what I'll do, I'll put everything back together. Right, so that's us all back together. Pretty good inspection wise. Haven't seen the queen, but ultimately that doesn't matter because there is eggs are brooding all stages. So we'll call that good. They have got another super. Like I say, they are on 7 frames, so I did add a super last week. Hopefully they can draw that out if there's a bit of a nectar flow on. But I did notice they don't really like drawing these super frames out. So next week I have got another super with wax frames rather than plastic ones. Wooden and wax rather than plastic with coated wax. So if they're still not drawing it out, we shall go and have a quick look and maybe put that one in the middle. All right, catch you in the next one. Right, so here we are at the next apiary. Again, only about 5 minutes from the last one. I have quite a few within a small area. What I'll do, I'll bring you round and show you. So this is the apiary. As you can see from some of the photos, it was blown over, so I've had to sort it out. But let's get down and have a look. So, I say they are coming in, going out. So what I have got as well, I have got me DSLR just to try and take some nice photos. So yeah, let's get suited up and get in. Make sure my smoker's still going, because the last thing you want is the smoker going out. And again, you want to make sure that you're buttoned all the way up, which this isn't. You don't want to make that mistake, especially if you have slightly spicy hives. So let's get into this one. Right, so what's the plan for this one? To be honest, I don't know until I get in. This was a nuke that I just put in last week. Not last week, week before. Bought it off a local association member who sells nukes, because I lost quite a few, not over winter, mainly the autumn before. I think that was simply because they were quite late mated. I struggled getting hives mated last year, well, queens mated, which made it really difficult. And then they went into winter quite not as strong as I would have liked. So put that to the side just so I've got something to and looking at it, they are actually at the front, but I forgot my hive tool, so I'll just have to run over and get that, because every apiary that I have has hive tools in a bucket of cleaning solution. Every apiary gets a new suit, and not just a new suit, but new gloves, new everything, just mainly to try and prevent any disease transmission. Because what I don't want, as much as they do help, I don't want a visit from the MBU or any of the bee inspectors, just because if they come, even though they do help, it's a bit more stress on everything. So these have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seams in the super, and as you can see, they are quite full. So these hopefully are romping away but what it looks to be is that they are actually chimneying up. So I'm going to have to put some. What I've also got is a dummy board, because this has too many frames in. So what I want to do is kind of keep all of the frames with a space so I can not crush anything when I bring it out. So let's have a look, see what these are looking like. Right, so they have built a little queen cell there. Nothing in it. What I'm hoping is that I don't have to split these. And there's a big drone. Obviously drones can't sting. They do pretty much nothing bar try and mate with queens. So there's a few more queen cells there. Lots of drones. And these are actually charged. So what I'm going to have to do, I think, is try and make sure the queen is in here first and foremost, and then knock down any queen cells and possibly, more than likely, create a split at the next inspection, because for all these are looking good, there's a lot of these that are charged. And what I don't want is I don't want to lose something very quickly that I've just paid money for. So there are eggs in there. So the queen has been here within the last 3 days. I'm just going to see if I can find her. So there's brood in all stages there. And they are drawing out. So I think what I'm going to do is checkerboard some of these. Just mainly to get them to try and not push all the way up through. So I've got that one there, I'll put that one to there. put that there. I'm going to put this one in here. Now this queen is blue marked, so it's just a case of trying to find it if I can, but if I can't, then no harm. Because you can't always find them. Even though you mark them and everything else, you just never quite know. So that's that one, that's nothing else on there. Again, I'm going to put a, just because I want to try and take this impulse out of them a little bit. So that one's oh, and there she is. See the blue dot there? Lovely blue mark queen. So what I can do, so I can actually put that there for the time being, and I can shake off all of these because I know she's here. I know she's there, so I can actually shake off all of these. And then what you've got to look for is in the corner here, they'll hide queen cells. So these are just cups, they're not charged. What you don't want to see is a massive, big long queen cell that's charged and nearly capped, because ultimately what will happen is you'll lose it and then you'll lose a swarm. So again, nothing in there, nothing in there. These are just playing at the minute, but there are some bees coming out, so what I'm going to do is try and get some photos. So got some photos because there's actually some drones emerging there. Just knock all of this down. Squish all of these just to make sure. Then that can go in there. And you can see they've mucked around with this one, so what you need to do is just keep squishing it down just so they rebuild it. So what I'm going to do is put that there. Put that there. Put that there. And then push all of them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The dummy board. And what I mustn't forget is I've trapped the queen. So the queen's loose there. So what I'm going to do is just gently pick her up and pop her on there. So I can knock this off and just double check. So what you should always do if you're picking up a queen is pick her up by the wings, because the wing muscles are really strong and you run less risk of damaging her, which is what you really want to do. You don't want to damage any of your queens, because ultimately if you damage your queen, especially this time of year, you can't always get one. Speaking of can't always get one, I do have a queen coming. So on the next hive that we're doing, up at my other farm apiary, we will redo. Okay, box is looking a little bit full. So I'm just going to double check what they're doing. And they are bringing in honey. Yep, honey is coming in. Obviously we're not far from a town. So realistically, I would expect to get a honey crop off these this year. But if I don't, I don't. Obviously I know everyone's after honey. I do have lots of people asking if I'm getting honey. Which I am, potentially. So what I'm going to do is button this all up. So we'll shut that up there. And shut that up there. And that's us done for this one. I'll see you at the next one. Right, so let's go with these ones. Now these bees are very spicy. This is my last hive, because what I want to do, because I've got a queen coming, is I actually want to make a split. So I've got the box and everything. So we shall go and see what these are like, because they can be very spicy. So if you hear a lot of buzzing, they are having a go at me, same way as they generally like to do. So what I'll try and do is move you there, stop it from falling over. Let's see if it'll follow. That'll do. So I've got my box here. I get my cleaning solution out. Again, clean hive tool. You'll see I'm in obviously a different suit with gauntlets, because these are generally my worst hive. And when I say worst hive, these are getting 30 plus stings off these. They really need to be requeened, which, depending on how my queen rearing goes this year, will be what's happening. So they are in the top. You can hear them already. They are not happy with me being here. So what I'm going to do is pop this off. There, I'm going to cover it back up. Just like that. Just to give a little bit of space. So the queen's not on there. This one's just stores. As you can see, because I've just breathed on them, they've just decided they want to as I said, these aren't the nicest of bees in the world, but they do produce the biggest crop of honey. So what I want to do, because they are creating swarm cells as well, I want to take some hives, some cells, some frames, out of there to essentially make a new hive. But not with these bees, because they are horrible. So I want to put a new queen in with these. But I need to make sure that the queen is so that one will do for brood. So I shall pop that one in there. Unless I find a better one. Again, looking for the queen. Ideally, I want some with open brood. But what I'm going to do is just make sure that that is actually closed. Which it is. Now, I don't normally like wearing these rubber gauntlets because you can't really do much with them. And all that happens is you do squash more bees. As you can see, they are getting a little bit more annoyed. And I also don't want to take too many frames out of here, just to kind of won't be another one because they've got eggs. And they're empty. So what I want to do is push these over. And give them some more frames. While also making sure the queen isn't on any of them. So what I'll do now is I'll just quickly put that lid on, because I don't think there's a queen in there. But what I want to do double check she's not on there. As you can see, they're getting a bit spicy. Bit of tape. So let's have a look. In this bottom box, actually I need a dummy board, because I don't have a dummy board in here. And again, I'll just pull the frame out, just make sure she's not on it, which is not, because it's empty. There's absolutely nothing on that frame. And they're just drawn out that one, so I'll use this. So there's pollen in that one. And brooding eggs in this one. And there's my queen. So what I shall do is cover that up for now, because then I know I can actually take some more bees, because the queen is there. So I'm going to take put that one in there. That's 4. My queen is on that side. So I'm going to take that one. And that one. frame in the side there, that on there like so, and move this away. I'll put a couple of just getting a sting to the gauntlet, which I just want to smoke. Put these frames back in. So what I want to do is release the queen. There she is, all fine. So there we go. Ten, 11. Put a dummy board in. I don't need so much of a worry about them getting into there because the queen's in the bottom, but I can put that up on there. And put that back on there. And that is that one done. All I need to do now is tape up around the gap because they are able to get in. Making sure I'm not actually trapping any bees as well, because that would be bad. So what I need to do with this one, actually, both of these ones, is change this box to one like this, just to try and help even out some of the cracks and dents and stuff, just to try and stop anything from getting through. So tighten that one up. That's that one done. So what I'll do, I'll turn you around for the other one. Right, so this is hive number 2. I obviously don't need to take anything from this one. So I'll give them a bit of smoke underneath, just to let them know I'm here. And in the front, just to let them know I'm here. Let's see if we can see this queen. But what I will say is they are looking like they are providing swarm cells now. So whether or not that's just the season, the time of the season, or what, I'm not 100% sure. So I know the queen ain't going to be on that one because there's a queen excluder in. And you can see them starting to bubble out the top of the box. Give them a bit of smoke just to keep the heads down. I just want to have a quick look. Nothing there as of yet, but they have cleaned them right up. So get these heads down. Like I said, I don't need to really worry too much about what they've got. Do need to take this tape off. And then redo it. But what I can do for now is crack these boxes. And obviously you can see they're not enjoying this at all. And this is why this year, depending on how many I can get mated, these here will be getting replaced because it's just not really enjoyable to come and see them. And that is part of what happens with bees. You do want to enjoy it. This is why I'm wearing rubber gauntlets and a full suit, because if you noticed on the other one I wasn't having to wear that. Lots of stores on there. Lots of stores on there. Just put that to one side just to give me a bit more space to work with. Obviously I didn't put a dummy board in this one either, so this is slightly on the weird side. But I just need to make sure that there is no queen cells. Because for all this is on a farm where they're not so bothered, I would prefer if it didn't get into a house or anything like that, because there is a farmhouse here. And again, I'm not overly concerned about seeing the queen, because there is eggs. So there is eggs. Just need to make sure there's no queen cells. Lots of brood. Brood in all stages. Been stung a couple of times because they are not happy, which I don't blame them. These were my very first splits last year, where I say splits, I actually messed them. Nothing on there, just capped brood. and that is honey. So all the rest of them are honey. I just need to sort out some stings, because there's a few more stings, and then get the smoke, and just get the smoke on to try and get rid of the pheromone. That one back in. Again, squeeze them back. Again, you can see them they are getting rather annoyed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the lid on here for the time being, just while I lift this onto over here. It's on top of the queen extruder, so the queen can't really go anywhere. As you can see, there's a couple of frames fell down, which I need to take this out and push this back. They haven't really done anything with them frames, but again, they aren't happy with me being in. Which, you know, we're dealing with stinging insects, as it, you know, it's not for everyone. If you're allergic, these can be quite dangerous, but it's very rewarding looking after all of this many bees. I'm just going to put that there because she's not on it. She's not on there. You can see they are getting a little bit annoyed, and I mean the weather isn't helping. The sun's just gone in. But there is eggs on there. There's a bit of weird comb that I want to get rid of, because again, this weird comb, don't know if you can see it, where they've made it into a bit of a mess. They can hide queen cells, which ultimately is not what you want happening. You don't want them hiding queen cells. So again, this one is a blue mark queen, so realistically she should be able to see, but I didn't see that one last week and I saw this one. So if I don't see it, I'm not overly fussed. There's eggs in all of there. Eggs in all of there. Eggs in all of there. Eggs and brood in all of there. Nothing on the frames, and obviously I am trying to get through these as quick as I possibly can. because this is stressful for them. And again, they've completely ruined this comb. Where they could realistically be drawn. Which makes life harder because they've actually drawn this over the top. So that one's all right, but I am going to pull that out. And I think that's good, because they're getting really angry now. And again, there isn't so much of a flow on at the minute. So what I'm doing, I'm just taking a step back, wafting my gloves, wafting my suit, just to give them a bit of a break, using this my hand that hasn't been all stung. Give that back to them. And what I need to do is now I need to try and get them back down so I can lift this one back over the top. Like so. And again, there's plenty of stings happening, but it is just simply because they're annoyed at us, which, you know, it's understandable. Make sure the queen's not on the top. Don't think she is, because I have done that before. I have mistakenly forgot the queen and ended up leaving her in the top box in the super, which causes you all sorts of problems when setting up, because you've got to then find her, shake her down. I'm going to leave that bit of food up there for them and close them up. So there you go, guys. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.